Hello? Hello?
Talk's friendly little proletariat uprising. America's first competition talk show. You're in the hub.
I believe the world is burning to the ground. Oh well, I guess we're gonna find out.
Good day. It is Wednesday, April 14th, 2010. Welcome to you. It's Joel Aaron on the Hub Internet Show. Glad to have you aboard for the day today. We've got a lot to cover today. We have the FACEOFF Debate. Today, it will actually be Stephanie versus Leake in just a moment. But I want to tell you this. You're probably familiar with Macafee, and you're probably familiar with Symantec. Those two companies duel it out over software privacy protection all the time, correct? Okay? Well, here's the thing. If you've ever noticed when you were registering for your Macafee product that a little window pops up in the middle of the registration process, and they are now in trouble for this because of legal reasons. When you click on that window, it actually pulls up a third-party product provider. And you're trying to buy, they're trying to encourage you to buy this product. Catch is, the way it's positioned, you think you're buying a product from Macafee. In order to complete the transaction, they sell that information, or provide it rather, to the third party. So, yes, as a matter of fact, if you're connecting the dots, you're in a privacy violation. You're buying the software to protect your own privacy, and they're selling your privacy to the third party to do so. So, you know, the question I have is, how else do you expect to buy, do they expect you to buy the crap you're buying? Because any other way, you wouldn't buy half the stuff they're trying to sell you on the site. And ask yourself this question: would you rather download that virus from a source you are aware of, or from a complete stranger? I think we could all answer that. Anyway, good morning to you. It's Barry, Stephanie, and Rupert and Leake. Don't want to leave Leake out. We've got a panel discussion to have today, and I want to jump right into this topic, guys, because we're all familiar with the health insurance boondoggle that just recently passed, correct? And Rupert, I'll go ahead and point out, Rupert is actually running for Congress right now. So if he eases off the throttle a little bit and doesn't jump off the cliff with the rest of us, you'll know why. He's a man of reason, and the rest of us are.
The reason it just doesn't make sense, and it's contravesty, is that basically if you take two people who work for the fire department, they are now responsible for a 2% fine if they choose not to be a part of this contravesty or injustice against the American judicial system. I think what we have now is basically Uncle Sam, the government getting involved and mandating and taking from you what they want.
Yeah, well, and I agree. And the thing about this is, it's interesting. Right now, the IRS is being given new, broad, sweeping powers to collect, to collect your health insurance premium because of this individual mandate. We all now have to have health care. So what they're saying is, if you don't buy your health care, they will take it right out of your individual tax returns. No fuss to you. And I guess, you know, instead of you're deducting, your company is deducting your premiums now you can deduct your premiums or they'll slap you. So actually, in a way, this is more personal responsibility. Isn't that what we always wanted, Stephanie?
Absolutely.
Sell out!
Well, you know. Well, this is the way I figured it out.
Okay.
Claim as high as you can, claim 8, 9, whatever you can. So you're going to have to pay at the end of the year, and then just don't pay as much. Guess what? Then they can't take your tax refund because there is none.
So in other words,
Don't worry, I'm fine.
look at all this money I'm getting back.
Address.
But no, under the new law, the IRS cannot seize assets or levy fines. So they have to go to the refunds.
Yeah.
So if you're not getting a refund, like I'm not getting a refund this year, or you're a small business owner that pays quarterly or whatever, you don't get a refund. How are they going to come after you if under this new law they can't seize assets or levy fines?
Well, I mean, Barry, this is, and it's a good point. Barry, this is the point that the IRS commissioner is making right now. He's saying that the subsidies would help poorer people buy coverage, and the states would set up exchanges to allow individuals and small groups to shop for insurance. So here's the thing. People, he said, this is the IRS commissioner talking, people who do not comply would be levied penalties, and if they don't pay them, the penalties can be taken out of their tax refunds like we just said. So what happens if they can't pay the penalties out of your refund, like what you're saying? Say you don't get a refund, then they put a lien on your house, I guess, right?
Well, it says that they can't do that, but it's so it's not. They're going to find a way to get the money from you. I mean, don't worry about that. The government can always find a way to get the money from you. I actually think, I know there's been a ton of talk about this, but I think it's a losing issue for Republicans at this point because it's already passed. When we get to October, we get to the fall, I mean, the goodies start kicking in. So things like you can't cancel your kid's insurance if they get sick, or you can't have the pre-existing condition with your kids. I mean, when you get, that kicks in. So what are you going to do? Are you going to say, let's get rid of this now? And, I mean, you can't give somebody the candy and then take it back.
Yeah, well, you've got Representative Dave Camp. He's with the House Ways and Means Committee, and he's saying, he's actually saying that the number, it's a basically they're saying they're going to have to hire 16,500 new IRS agents. That's what he quoted. Of course, the IRS guys came back and said, absolutely not. That's a trumped up number. So I guess you just can't pick a number based on estimates, things like what the congressional budget office gives you.
$2 million
Yeah, I mean, because those would be estimates. Those would be called projections. And at the IRS, we obviously don't believe in those sort of things. Rupert?
I think that the biggest problem that we're having, obviously, is this is the government of yes, we can, and they'll take that money any way they'll see fit. And that's what we need to be concerned about.
Yeah, well, we got a face-off debate to do tonight. Tonight it is Stephanie versus Leake, and they are competing in a 90-second debate, 45 seconds per person, to see who you, the viewer, would like to see back on the panel next week. Obviously, we have Brains and Beauty on this end, and a man in dire straits on the other side of the table. And Leake. So you determine. Okay, here's the topic. They don't know this ahead of time. Tiger Woods last week came in 4th place at the Masters after, what has he won, like 3 jackets before? Phil Mickelson, who's a real family man, won his 3rd, put on his jacket and whatnot. Now, all of us are very well aware. Now, how should we say this? Tiger Woods has been in the sand trap because he got out his 5-iron way too often. Specifically 12 times too often, a dozen or so times. So anyway, he's in trouble here. Tiger Woods, Nike released a commercial last week, right? And they're trying to help him save face. And it's his father, Earl Woods, asking him the question, Tiger, did you learn anything? And he's looking forlorn into the camera, and he's trying to analyze internally what's going on inside his head. And I'll just leave it at that. So the question is, did that advertisement help Tiger redeem himself, or did it make things worse for Tiger Woods? 90 seconds on the clock, 45 seconds per person. Stephanie, you get the first word.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to point out it was his putter he got out, not his 5-iron. Let me make that perfectly clear. Did the advertisement make his point? I don't know. People liked it, people didn't like it. It was good for the city of Augusta. I think it just depends. If you like Tiger, you like Tiger. I don't really care. I think that you're a schmuck when you have 2 little kids at home and your wife's way hotter than those ugly, ugly women. So, did it help them? I don't know. I think it's kind of eerie that your dead father is now your commercial and your way of redeeming yourself.
Yeah, talk about reaching way beyond the grave. All right, Stephanie, depends on your perspective of Tiger to begin with. Leake, 45 seconds, go.
You know, it doesn't matter because those ads were put together for people who watch The View and don't buy golf equipment, don't play golf, don't buy Gatorade. They're post-menopausal, crabby women who don't accept and will never accept the fact that ever since women entered the workforce in the 60s and 70s, they cheated precisely the same ratios as men did.
Actually, I think they cheated more than that, but go on.
Even more. And
she's goading you.
And might I say that making cheap anatomical jokes is just that, a cheap tactic.
Much like his women.
And at the same time, the argument that women always make is not the attractiveness, but the attention that you get.
All right,
I mean, that's the argument all the time.
So the sparks have flown. You got Stephanie, you got Leake. You cast the vote in the comments section all week long of this very day's YouTube video. And next Wednesday, we kick somebody off, we keep somebody on. We'll see you tomorrow.
I can't believe that, letting him return to the tour.